Okay, everyone, it is 7:15. This is meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer about to go live with our 7:15 streaming weather show. Happens every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 7:15. So, excuse me, here we go. First of all, what you're looking at here is you're looking at a time lapse of tower cam starting this morning. Notice the kind of color to the sky that tells you the wildfire smoke's still up there. Some high thin clouds, also some cumulus clouds form. And the cloud cover thickens up a little bit high in the atmosphere. And as we head toward toward now, you can see there's more cloud cover coming our way. So clouds are increasing, and we are headed for some pretty nice weather around the tri-state. As a matter of fact, if you like summertime humidity, I've had a lot of comments about, we need some warm and more humid weather like summer. Well, we had it the past 2 days. We're going to continue to have warm and humid weather, but we're going to add some shower and thunderstorm activity into it tomorrow, Friday, into Saturday morning. And then the humidity drops during the day Saturday, the sky clears, and from late Saturday on into Sunday, we've got a pretty good looking weekend ahead here in the tri-state. So let's go ahead, take a look at some other stuff here. Temperatures as of 7 p.m., that's the current temperature, 79 up in the Richmond area, okay? And if you look everywhere else, temperatures are in the 80s, still 86 in Ashland and Portsmouth, 86 in Oxford, 83 at Lunken Airport. But it was another warm and humid day. The high temperature made it to 85. Yesterday was 86, so we had 2 mid to upper 80s days in a row. And there's the shower and thunderstorm activity we've been talking about. Now ahead of that shower and thunderstorm activity, winds are out of the south and southwest, bringing that humid air from the south. Humidity, which is just water vapor, it's gaseous water, is a greenhouse gas, and so whenever you get a lot of humidity in the air, the temperature doesn't drop off much. And I'm going to show you some low temperatures that occurred overnight. Let's see, all we got to do is find the map because I forgot to put it in the rundown. All right. So let's go and take a look at some low temperatures that occurred this morning. We had a few days where lows dropped into the upper 30s in a few spots. Look at the low temperatures from this morning. Everybody in the 60s. A low temperature as warm as 68 in Lebanon, 69 in Oxford, officially 66. Batavia at 69, Maysville at 67. Those are midsummer low temperatures. I mean, oftentimes we have low temperatures in the 70s when it's very hot and humid around the tri-state. Well, this is just warm and humid, and we had low temperatures 69 in Oxford and Batavia. That tells you there's a lot of water vapor in the air, and that almost never happens. Low temperatures like this almost never happen around here without fairly high humidity in the tri-state. And we also had some cloud cover. We had that smoke up there. We had a lot of other complicating factors, but the big factor was the humidity. Take a look at high temperatures today. Now, these will be updated at 8 p.m. 84 at CVG. I think CVG finally reported 85 degrees. Again, that's updated at 8 p.m. Oxford up to 89. Nobody made it to 90 on this map today, at least the preliminary numbers. But yesterday we did have a couple of 90s, but we had brighter sunshine yesterday than we had today with all that smoke and that cloud cover thickening up. And right now, airport temperatures range from 79 in Richmond, and we just saw this a few minutes ago, to as high as 86 in Shelbyville, Ashland, Portsmouth, and in our viewing area, it looks like 85 at Oxford is the warmest. Shower and thunderstorm activity has taken days to cross Missouri. It's going to move a little bit faster overnight, and we do have some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for tomorrow morning. Now, we're not thinking of anything severe. I think most of the area and most of the time during the morning commute, it looks dry, but the homebound commute is going to be on the wet side. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the model shows. This is the model saying 4 a.m. So this evening and overnight, no rain until we get to about 4 a.m. And then you see the rain moving on into the Fox 19 Now viewing area. And I'm going to scrub through this by hand. Okay, so here we go. So we stop the clock here at 8 a.m. and you can see showers only in parts of Decatur, Fayette, Union, Franklin, maybe northern parts of Dearborn, northwestern Hamilton, western parts of Butler County, and maybe a little bit into Ripley County. So not much by 8 a.m., not much in the way of rainfall. If we go ahead now to 10 a.m., after the morning commute, it looks like only parts of Ripley, Dearborn, northwestern Hamilton, western Butler, Fayette, Union, Franklin, and Dearborn will have rain for the morning commute. Everybody else, the weather should not end up being a factor for the morning commute. But that'll change, okay, because as the day heats up a little bit, we're going to add more energy to those showers, and that shower activity will become more widespread as you try to head home. So let's go through the day. Here we are at 1 p.m. It's slowly creeping south and eastward. Basically, by 1 p.m., everything to the west of I-71 is getting rainfall. By 4 p.m., as a lot of people are heading home from work, there you have it. Everybody's supposed to be getting some rain. Now remember, this particular model is a global model, and so it doesn't have the resolution that one of the high resolution models does. So oftentimes when you see a big blanket of rainfall like this, that indicates scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. You just can't resolve the individual showers and thunderstorms. So that's 4 p.m. Okay, and then by the time we get to there's 5:30, there's 6. Now as the day leads into the evening and it begins to cool off a little bit, the showers lose their power. And so by the time we get to midnight, we're looking at just a few scattered showers left. And then as we head on into the morning hours of Friday, it does dry out a little bit. And so it looks like mostly dry for the morning commute there on Friday. I'll continue to move this forward by hand. But then as the day heats up, the shower activity becomes more widespread. It begins to die out as we head into evening, and then another little disturbance comes our way and re-energizes those showers. So a lot of the evening Friday is going to be on the wet side. And then as we head on into Saturday morning, here you go, 5 a.m. Saturday, still some rain in parts of Pendleton, Bracken, Robertson, Mason, Lewis, Adams, Brown, Highland counties. By the time we get to let's say 8 a.m., it's off and gone, and we get some clearing. But that's not the end of it, because what happens, part of that system stalls out. You see some showers redevelop. Most of those should redevelop south of the Fox 19 Now viewing area. So I can't rule out an afternoon shower from Owen County over to Lewis, but for the most part, they should be to the south, because that's the trend. And then it does stall out even more there, and you can see some thunderstorm activity there along the Wabash River. Okay, this indicates some thunderstorm activity here. Terre Haute, Indiana is up here. So this would be south of Terre Haute, Indiana, crossing the Wabash River from Illinois into Indiana. And when that breaks loose, I think while most people sleep, we may see some showers roll through the tri-state. So here's 2 a.m. Sunday, and then by 8:30 a.m. Sunday, maybe a few sprinkles left in Lewis County. So let me go through that again. So I'll go back to where the thunderstorm activity was, right there. Okay, so watch that system kind of breaks loose, comes into the tri-state overnight while most people were sleeping, brings some scattered light showers, and by the time we get to right there 9 a.m., maybe a sprinkle left in parts of Lewis County, and that's about it. And then the rest of the Sunday looks good with lower humidity, although I would ignore those showers. I would say the shower activity Sunday night into Monday morning is a bigger risk in the tri-state. Now, rainfall totals from this 3-day event, rain on Thursday, Friday, into Saturday, have come down. Yesterday, when we looked at this, most of the area had an inch or more of rainfall, with some spots around 2. Now this is saying, and you can see maybe an inch in Owenton, maybe an inch and a half in Hillsboro, but these are spots that the model picks up as being caught under light thunderstorms, so they get a downpour. Everybody else is somewhere mostly between a half an inch and 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. So that's what you can expect for the 3-day total. And that's good news if you live along a stream next. It's generally not enough for there to be any flooding issues to worry about. Okay, so if we take a look at, okay, what else? Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to go to the next file. Overnight, the Storm Prediction Center is saying there's a marginal risk, level 0 and 1 out of 5. Of a severe thunderstorm. That's only for part of Decatur and a little bit of Fayette County. We're not thinking of anything severe overnight, so don't worry about that. And then during the day, excuse me, Thursday into Friday, 8 a.m. Thursday into 8 a.m. Friday, there's a marginal risk of severe weather in the tri-state. So that may be probably not an issue. And what the Storm Prediction Center now says is that parts of northern Kentucky on Friday into Saturday may have the risk of a brief severe thunderstorm. Sunset, 9:01 this evening. We're looking at temperatures dropping to 76 by 11 p.m. Overnight, we're looking at low temperatures in the upper 60s. Excuse me. It's allergy time, and my sinuses are crazy here. We're looking at lows in the upper 60s tomorrow morning with the sun coming up at 6:13. And the forecast for Thursday, sun sets again at 9:01. We're looking at temperatures rising to 77 by noon, 80 by 4 p.m. for the high. And that high temperature of 80 tomorrow is right at normal. Morning lows, again, upper 60s, so it's a lot warmer than normal on the low side. And we're far from the record high of 97 and far from the record low of 43. So here is, excuse me one more time. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. I didn't want you to have to hear that. Okay, so the 7-day forecast looks like this. Low tonight, 69, high tomorrow, 80. 70 and 80 on Friday. Both days with a few scattered strong storms, otherwise just showers and thunderstorms. The Reds are going to try and play Fireworks Friday game Friday evening. We'll have to see how the rain cooperates with that. Most of the rain ends Saturday morning and then clearing out with dropping humidity later in the day on Saturday. Sunday looks nice. Sunday night, we've got the slim chance of a shower. Monday, a few strong storms are possible with a high of 77. And then as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, highs in the upper 70s with the weather drying out once again. So we have partly cloudy to mostly sunny weather for both Tuesday and Wednesday. When we go beyond the 7-day forecast, there's a 7-day stretch with highs in the 80s. We do have 5 of those 7 days, just like yesterday's forecast, with a chance of some shower activity, and most of that is pop-up summertime types of showers. So we're not looking at a system setting on top of us starting Saturday the 14th and bringing rain every day for the next 5. This is the stuff that typically pops up in the afternoon, scattered about the area. You may get some rain, your neighbor may not, that kind of summertime precipitation. Okay, and then if we take a look at the 7-day plus, here's what we've got. High temperatures, low temperatures. If we look at the normal lines, you can see that we are right near normal right on through the next 14 days around the tri-state. Now, the one thing I usually show you that I forgot, again, I was busy today, so I forgot to put this in the show. And give me just a second here. Okay, let's see. All right. I had to rearrange this thing. That's why it was all messed up. Well, I want to go back to what the Climate Prediction Center is saying. So I've got to turn on those files. Okay, so it'll pop up here in just a second, and I'll let you see it full screen as soon as it does. All right, here it comes. There you go. They're still saying that down in the central southern part of the country, southern plains roughly, a colder than normal pattern, and we're kind of on the edge of that. So we're talking about somewhere near normal from the 10th to the 14th of June. If you take a look at the next part of this, okay, come on, computer, cooperate, there we go. The 12th to the 18th of June, we start to see warmer than normal weather moving back into the Fox 19 Now viewing area. And the graphic that came out last Friday says warmer than normal from the 17th to the 30th, and more than likely that'll be updated because what they've done, you saw that colder than normal pattern shrink and move down here. Well, this is what it looked like on Friday, and so it's going to be smaller, so I'm thinking that we're going to even be more in the warmer than normal category by the time the Friday update comes out. Okay, and this all agrees with the numbers I just showed you. Precipitation drier than normal to around normal from the 10th to the 14th of June. You can see that drier than normal up in the lakes. Sorry again about coughing here. June 12th to 18th, we're a little bit more than normal precipitation and near to a little bit above normal precipitation through the 30th of June. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a look and see what we have going here on Facebook. I know everybody was talking about getting some summer-like weather, and we got it, so I wonder how everybody feels about it. All right, so Stephen Bryce Campbell. He said there's a marginal risk, main threats, gusty winds, and that's just, remember, it's a level 1 out of 5, so I'm not thinking we're going to see much in the way of severe weather, if anything at all. But Stephen's right. Susan Wally says, good evening. I think I like the 60s better. My animals are keeping me busy with the watering. Yeah, my wife and I aren't really much air conditioning kind of people, but the bedroom last evening our bedroom's on the second floor on the south side of the house, so it gets sun all day long. And it was like 82 degrees at the thermostat just outside of the bedroom, which made it probably 5 degrees warmer in the bedroom. So we hit the air conditioner today, and Susan, our dogs loved it. They're like, I'm not going back outside for a while. So I had no trouble. Usually they want to go back outside as I'm leaving, but they didn't. Chris Chandler said it was warm today by the canoe rental in Loveland. Hey, yeah, this would be a pretty good stretch of time as long as there's no big storms coming our way for canoeing. Melvin, hi Steve. Melvin Stone Street. Hi Steve. Is it going to be rain all day tomorrow? Well, I think in the morning mainly dry, but as the day warms up, Melvin, the showers will start to pop up, and we end up with a pretty wet late afternoon and evening around the tri-state. So not all day, but most of the day. Betty Plyman, how high did the temperature get in Lawrenceburg, Indiana? Well, Lawrenceburg is not far from the international airport, and about 85 today, with a heat index of about 87. Yesterday was about a degree warmer, Betty. Okay, so Jennifer Claiborne said, do you think the storms will be bad or just thunderstorms? I think for the most part they'll be just thunderstorms. We have that slight risk, or we have that marginal risk. But earlier today, the Storm Prediction Center put out an update for day 3, and what I'm doing is I'm calling up a graphic that you're going to see here that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. So ignore all the information. I'm going to rearrange it so you can see what they're saying now for day 3. Day 3 would be Saturday into Sunday. Okay, so day 3 right there. Okay, and I'm going to turn off the windshield. Okay, so that got rid of too much information. So let me turn the windshield back on and get rid of some of this stuff that is not the correct time. So here's what it's saying. This goes away because there's no moderate in there. Okay, this goes away because there's no enhanced in there. And if all I have to do is hit the right button. And then, so this slight risk is right down here. Okay, so if we look at this, and we're looking, okay, one more time. Marginal, yep, there we go. Okay, now I fixed this map, so it's almost right now. Change one more thing here. Instead of 3 to 4, it's level 1 to 2 out of 5. Okay, and I don't have any timestamp on there, but this is day 1 is today. Okay, let's see. Too many buttons. Okay, day 1 is today until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Day 2 is 8 a.m. tomorrow. So 8 a.m. Thursday to 8 a.m. Friday, and this is day 3. So this is 8 a.m. Friday to 8 a.m. Saturday. And they've changed their minds a little bit, saying that most of the Fox 19 Now viewing area from 8 a.m. Friday to 8 a.m. Saturday is in a marginal risk, but from Carroll and Gallatin counties down to Owen, Grant, the southern part of Pendleton, southern part of Bracken, all of Robertson, and a little bit of Mason County there off to the southwest of Maysville, there is a slight risk of severe weather, which is a level 2 out of 5. Okay, so we have that, probably non-existent risk overnight tonight. We've got that marginal risk for everybody tomorrow, and then the way the system is evolving, the Storm Prediction Center says a slight risk here. Now, that does not include Boone, Kenton, or Campbell counties. It does not include the northern part of Switzerland, but the southern part of Switzerland there is included. Carroll, almost all of Gallatin, all of Owen, Grant, most of Pendleton, Bracken, all of Robertson, and most of Mason, or part of Mason, are included in that slight risk. And so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Now, I'm off on Friday. However, because the Reds are in town and there's rain forecast, I'll be working from home, keeping the Reds informed about the rain. Aaron Ashley will be in for me, but if anything does begin to get serious, I will be in, and we will team coverage. We'll do team coverage on the potential for severe weather. So there is that chance as we head from 8 a.m. Friday into 8 a.m. Saturday that we'll see a little bit of severe activity down to the south. But again, the main threat here would be straight line winds. And it's just a chance. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center will update this at around 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I'll be anxious to see what they're thinking. Again, if it turns out to be nothing, I'll just be at home working and keeping the Reds informed as far as the rain goes to see if they can get their ball game in. If it turns out to be something, I'll be in to work, and Aaron Ashley and I will do team coverage on that potential for severe weather Friday evening. Okay, let me go quickly back to Facebook, see if there's any other comments or, oh, there we go. All right, so Jennifer, Michelle Hutchins, and Michelle, I think I agree with you on this one. I can do without the humidity, and the storms usually make it worse. You know, that's a really good point. That's something we don't often say, but when you get thunderstorms, and unless they're along a cool front, and the cool front brings cooler, less humid air in, the thunderstorms dump that rain. And when some of that rain soaks into the soil, but some of it evaporates, and when it evaporates, it makes it worse. It makes it more humid. So that's actually a really good point. And there's not a lot of cool air coming in behind it, but there's some less humid air that'll come in by the time we get into Sunday morning. Okay, so good point there, Michelle. Okay. Oh, right. I forgot all about this, Harvey. I didn't forget about the anniversary. Things were so crazy around here because the people that provide our weather graphics data and all that, we had a major cloud outage, and things were crazy around here. But he said Monday was the 35th anniversary of the Bright, Harrison, and Westchester tornado. Your clip of the coverage on air lives on YouTube. Okay, so what happened was, that was that tornado in 1990, and I tell you what, that was one of the first ones that was live on the ground that I had to cover. I was at Channel 5 at the time, years ago, and that wasn't 1990, was it? Well, I was, no, I had just gotten to Channel 12, so I had already left, and I had been at Channel 12 for a little while. That tornado came through, and we were, for some reason, the other TV stations couldn't cover it. There was some other stuff going on that they had, and so we were the only ones on the air with it. And we saw it coming. There was one death in Seymour, Indiana, to the southwest of the Harrison area, and so we were watching it. And so we put out the alarm, and we sent our photographer. He's a guy named Michael Benedict, who worked with me for years. Went to Antarctica with me as my photographer. And he's a local fireman also. He got there, and a building had collapsed, and he got there before a lot of the emergency equipment did, and they were actually using his camera lights to help pull some people out of a collapsed building up that way. And so it was one of the first times that I had to deal with a tornado like that. And then he mentions that if you go to Rescue 911, I think most people remember it as it was a pretty good show showing emergency situations like that. And they have me in a clip on that Rescue 911 on the Harrison Westchester tornado. So you might want to take a look at that. It's kind of cool. I'm the guy that doesn't have gray hair yet. So Alicia says, So Saturday is hit and miss as far as rainfall is concerned. Yes, most of the Saturday rainfall in the morning and then some more late evening and overnight into Sunday morning. But dayside, probably mostly dry. Okay, so hit and miss in the morning, but after that, dry. Stephanie Dennis, will there be widespread rainfall Friday or Saturday? Yes, for Friday, and yes for Saturday, but only in the morning. Okay. Okay, and Harvey Day, if you're watching on Facebook and seeing the comments there on this, Harvey Day sent the link to YouTube where you can pick out that. Hey, so thank you, Harvey. That's nice for everybody to be able to do that. So, you can try it there. You can try and see what a young Steve Horstmeyer looked like quite a while ago, 35 years ago. But it was a real experience. It was the very first time I ever was on the air live when a tornado was on the ground and literally threatening people's lives. Okay, so that's it. Let me save this file, and I'll go back over to the 7-day forecast here for you. And we'll call it an evening. Okay, so, and again, I've got the computer over here has the weather computer, and then this computer has all the software that merges them all into one video stream, so I never know if I'm on camera until I look. That's why there's a hesitation every once in a while. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 7-day forecast. Tonight's low 69 and sticky. Humid tomorrow morning, no doubt about that. We're looking at a high temperature of 80 with some strong storms tomorrow afternoon and evening. They'll die down tomorrow late evening, and then they refire during the day on Friday with another high of 80 and some strong storms. The storms come to an end, it looks like, Saturday morning with a high of 79 Saturday. The humidity will drop off. Now, Saturday late evening into the early morning hours of Sunday, but gone before dawn, some other showers will move through the area. That's why that slim chance is there. Sunday, another slim chance late Sunday night into Monday morning. So while you sleep, we may see some showers, but it looks dry from Saturday afternoon all the way through Sunday. Monday, a few strong storms are possible, partly cloudy Tuesday, and again Wednesday with highs in the 70s. All right, if we take a look now at the beyond the 7-day forecast, high temperatures in the 80s right on through the 18th of the month. You've got 5 days there with a chance of rain, and again, most of it is the pop-up stuff that we get in the summer. You know how it can be. You can be out working in the yard all day long on a hot and humid day, and 3 miles down the road, your neighbor calls up and said they got an inch of rain. That's the kind of stuff. So not everybody, it's not like we're going to see one of those systems like we had a couple weeks ago, where it starts raining on a Saturday, and we have off and on rainfall from the same system that's slowly moving through the tri-state for 4 or 5 days. This is the pop-up afternoon stuff that's very typical of summer around the tri-state. Now we go to taking a look how this compares to normal. Okay, and so here we go, highs and lows. If we had the normal lines on there, you can see we're a little bit above, a little bit below, but mostly right around normal for the next 14 days temperature-wise. And so I guess the best way to put it is the takeaway from this is we don't have any more chilly weather in the near future, and probably not now until we get into the fall. And along with that, we don't have any early heat wave coming our way. And typically, the heat wave kind of weather is also the kind of weather that causes droughts. So you can make the inference that we're done with the really chilly weather for a while, maybe the whole summer. We don't have a heat wave coming our way in the next 2 weeks to a month. And with that means we'll probably have adequate moisture to keep your gardens and your lawns and your other plants happy. So that's it for now. Thank you for joining me. I will be in again tomorrow. What is today? Wednesday. Yes, I'll be in again tomorrow. Can't forget that. And we'll go over this again. We'll take a more detailed look at the possibility of some severe storms as we head on into Friday night and Saturday here in the tri-state. Thanks for joining me. Have yourself a good one.